So we're going to make a lentil salad with an herby vinaigrette. And what I love about this salad is that you are getting a power-packed protein in your salad, and it's delicious. We're using today some French lentils. These lentils tend to hold their shape better than the traditional brown lentil. The nice thing about cooking lentils is they don't need to be pre-soaked, so you can just simmer them for about 20 minutes in boiling water and then make them in advance, drain them, and you have it ready for your salad. When you are ready to make the salad, let's make the vinaigrette first. And this is where we're going to sneak in a lot of healthy herbs and other spices as well. So we're going to start with some garlic, and the best thing about garlic is using it raw. This is wonderful, and if you let it sit for about 10 minutes, you're going to let it mix with oxygen and release allicin, one of its phytonutrients that is extremely antimicrobial, really good for the fall season when we tend to have more congestion. And so I'm putting that into my bowl, and I also have a lemon here, and this is an organic lemon, so I feel comfortable using the skin. I've got a little grater, and I'm going to grate a bit of the zest in here. And if you don't have a lemon, you could use a lime. You could even use an orange. It's really up to you, but we do want a little bit of zest of some kind of a citrus fruit. So I'm just going to put maybe about half of the lemons in there, and now I can cut the lemon and use the juice. So I'm going to put about use half of the lemon here, about 2 tablespoons of juice. Got this nifty little lemon squeezer, which keeps the seeds away from the juice, which is nice. But if you don't, you can just squeeze it the traditional way and strain out the seeds. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons in there. And I'm also going to be throwing in a little bit of Dijon mustard. So I'm using a Grey Poupon style mustard, and this is not only giving it sort of a saltiness, but it also tends to help it emulsify a little bit. So I've got 1 to 2 teaspoons, kind of depending on your taste. And for vinegar, I'm going to be using a white balsamic. Now this, you can use anything. This is literally your choice. About 2 tablespoons of some form of vinegar. I've used the dark balsamic before, which is nice and caramely, but it makes the dressing look a little bit dark. So I thought I'm going to try it with the white. Because it's very tart, I'm going to throw in a bit of honey. And I'm using unfiltered honey, just about a teaspoon of honey to balance the acidity. And throw that in. Again, this is kind of a place for you to play, but making salad dressings is such a wise idea, because if you start reading labels on the salad dressings in the store, you're going to notice that they use a lot of the soybean and the cheaper oils that have a lot of inflammatory properties, and that they also they have a lot of preservatives, they have a lot of chemicals and compounds and gums and texturizers that we really don't want. So making your own dressing, I think, is a pretty wise choice. So I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in here. So we've got kind of the acidity comes from both the vinegar and from the lemon juice. We've got some lemon zest in there, and we are also going to we have our garlic in there, and I think that's pretty it. So we're just going to kind of whirl that around. This is a very simple vinaigrette, and you can make quite a bit of it if you wish and just store it in your fridge. Now I'm going to be adding my lentils to it, and you can add the lentils to the dressing when they're warm. That will soak up even more of the flavor of the vinaigrette. Will go into those little lentils. Remember, these are full of fiber. These are really prebiotic, so it's super good for feeding our microbiome. They are high in protein. They are also excellent sources of calcium and B vitamins, iron, something that magnesium. good for stress relief. So this is just a really nice combination. Now we forgot about our herbs. The herbs are the most important part. So I have about 1/2 cup of chopped herbs here. The herbs that I wanted to use today is really totally up to you, but I wanted to showcase a variety. So we have parsley as one of the major herbs. We have chives, which have the oniony kind of taste. They are seasonal, so if you don't have, you can get them in the grocery store any time of year, but if you happen to grow them, they come back every year. They're wonderful, and they have the oniony taste. We have a little bit of rosemary here, also from my garden that I picked today, and you can bring rosemary plant in, and if you're lucky, it will live through the winter. It's a little bit woody, so you're just going to be taking the leaves, these little leaves, and chopping them up. I have some thyme here. We can all use more thyme. This one, you're actually going to go backwards on the stem to try to take it off of the stem. I'm just going to throw a few of these in here as well. And I also have some basil. This is one of my favorite herbs. Basil is something that's very delicate. If you get it, you need to be careful, because in the refrigerator and the cold temperatures, it will start to turn black. So a lot of times I take my herbs and I put them in water. Just let the stem sit in water at room temperature. I usually put it by the sink so that I'll remember to use them, and that will preserve them a little bit longer. Another one that's fun and will go really well with these French lentils is some tarragon, which has a slight aniseed taste. So I put a little tarragon in here too. So these are all chopped up. It's about 1/2 cup. And I'm just going to throw these herbs in there. And that's going to give a lot of flavor to the salad, as well as all of these wonderful properties. These polyphenols that are in here are extremely antioxidant rich. So it's more than just being beautiful and giving an aromatic flavors. It's really, really therapeutic as well. Now, I'm going to also flavor this up with a lot of more punch, more flavors, give it a little higher latitude here. We're going to add oranges and some peppers. I've got some bell peppers. These are orange, yellow, and red peppers. So if we're doing it for color, remember eating the rainbow. So we've got some carrots in here. And of course you can play. If you happen to not care for one of these, you don't have to have it. I want to put some red onion in, because remember, those anthocyanins in the red onion in particular makes it a super duper power packed antioxidant booster as well. So now we're kind of mixing all of this together, as you can see. And I would put a little bit of pepper in. Oh, let's not forget the dried fruit. If you have currants, raisins, or in this case, a few craisins, don't hesitate to add those in. That is also going to add kind of some sweetness, which balances all of the vinegariness of the dressing. So we're putting in some beautiful craisins today. We're really into the cranberries this time of year. So this is how colorful this is. Now I would serve this on a bed of greens. So we're gonna throw some on our, let's see, I don't know if you can kind of see this a little bit better if I move things out of the way. But we have a bed of spring mix. Now this would be nice because you can make this up early in the day and serve it in the evening. And I would just scoop a little bit onto individual plates like that. So you can see it's a really colorful salad and full of flavor. And it's practically a meal in itself. Serving it with some good crusty bread, it literally has all of the nutrients that you need. You got all the amino acids covered for a complete protein. So this could be a nice luncheon or a side salad. Okay, that one's done.